when you're moving from place to place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. Good morning, good morning. It is 7 a.m. and welcome to the Tobago Updates morning show as we continue to give God thanks for life. I am Julian Skeet in pink this morning.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and not in pink, but this is the day that the Lord has made and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to Tobago. Good morning those of you in Trinidad, Caribbean, those of you on the live. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Thursday morning, Julian Skeet, Thursday the 20th of October.
Yes, Tuesday the 20th of October. And I like that and I'm sure Rhea welcomes this, so that our background has been changed to reflect, in terms of that important awareness in terms of breast cancer awareness, and in fact, the wider awareness and challenges associated with cancer and the need to really try to have it identified as early as possible. I must say, Rhea, for those of you that were tuned in yesterday, I was also tuned in. I saw Rhea on the other side of the coin, moving from host to being interviewed, and I know she might have been tempted at moments to join the interviewee style, the interviewer style, and but more importantly, as I would have shared with Rhea, and I'm also sharing publicly, the message sent by both Rhea and as well Lorraine, really touching at that, and a gentle reminder, how important it is, not just your trust in the medicine and the process to help, but also critical at that, your trust in God.
That's right.
For me, very encouraging indeed, because for those of you who know me dearly enough, and Rhea would know, I too would have gone through my own challenges and struggles, having lost my mom in 2012, a few years ago, and therefore I know all too well what that kind of challenge requires in terms of being able to take care and to provide support. And I want to say kudos as well to the husbands, Mr. Udu, Mr. George, and so on, because for me it sent a good signal as a reminder, men, we have that responsibility to support. I think it was rightfully said either by Rhea or Lorraine, that's not an opportunity to run off, but that is really the test of being able to provide that kind of support, because you have to see, no matter what, at times when we we get ill, we fall down, sometimes very minor stuff, and we crying out as men. Our ladies are there to support us no matter the circumstances. Even when we make mistakes, they are there to support us.
That's right.
So, I was really touched by that indeed yesterday. So kudos to the entire Youth Wednesday team, Dwayne, Kaylee, and Luke in the mix yesterday.
Right. Thank you so much for that, Julian. And I have to say that the youth program was the one that actually started the background. I was really waiting for the morning show to do something cancer related for the month of October, but it seems as though the focus is on Carnival. So I really want to thank the youth producer, Camera One, for being able to have me on yesterday morning. It was an opportunity really to share the story. I want to say thank you as well to Caroline Birchwood James. I'm putting you out there this morning, Mrs. James. She called me after the show yesterday and she said, I really never saw it like that, the big C, because we often think that the big C is cancer. But our big C for Lauren and I, our big C is Christ. And I really want to thank you for your words of encouragement yesterday, and I'm happy that you did enjoy the show and that you were encouraged and blessed by it. And for all the other persons who sent their comments, yes, Michelle, thank you for the idea, not even the idea, the suggestion, but the reminder that I need to do something about that. So I definitely will. So thank you again.
All right. And we also want to send commendations. Rhea, I got the opportunity yesterday to head on out to
World Food Day. Yes.
Really a grand display. There were cars backing up on the highway going back to the health, that the parking going across to the health center side, as well as the parking heading back to Bagatelle. That's the turn off there.
That's right.
Vehicles for so the turnout has been amazing. Let me send my commendations to all those persons coordinating this event, Secretary Natisha Charles Pantin, Assistant Secretary Tate, Administrator, the entire technical team. I saw Mr. Carl Murray as well. Yep. TADCO Chairman also in the mix, Ricardo Alfred, and the entire team that worked collectively, Miss Erla Hazel, and the entire coordinating team that would have worked out of the division in terms of delivering as a World Food Day. And folks, you have an opportunity today to head out again, all right, in terms of connecting and ensuring that you get the taste something, buy something to plant.
I'll tell you about my taste after, Candace.
Buy something to plant, all right? Viewers, we head on over at this moment to news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Julian and Ria. I am Candace Jackson, and here is your news in 90 seconds for Thursday, 20th October 2022. Assemblyman for Roxborough Argyle, Watson Duke, questioned the reasoning behind constructing a stage in the sea for the Tobago Carnival. Duke pointed out that after the PDP opposed the Sandals project because of environmental concerns, elected THA officials disregarded proper infrastructural work procedures. He is now questioning the ability of the current administration to lead after being elected under a PDP banner. According to Duke, the elected assemblymen are not governing according to the promises made on the election trail. Instead, he believes they continue to display childish behavior in public office. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley will not participate in the Tobago Carnival because he fears being infected by the coronavirus again. Dr. Rowley spoke to reporters yesterday at the World Food Day Expo in Bacalat. When questioned, the Prime Minister said he was infected by the COVID-19 virus twice and has since avoided large crowds to prevent a third infection. However, he hoped that many people participating in the Tobago Carnival will be safe. Dr. Rowley visited the livestock display at the World Food Day Expo and avoided the groups of school children that cheered him on. And nationally, the Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association elected a new president on Wednesday. TUTA's new president is Martin Lumpkin, who received 15 more votes than the outgoing president, Antonia Tika de Freitas. Following preliminary results, Lumpkin vowed to continue the fight for better wage negotiations for teachers. He also renewed TUTA's commitment to acting in the best interest of students and teachers across Trinidad and Tobago. And that was the news in 90 seconds. It is back to you, Julian and Ria.
Thank you so much there, Candace.
Candace is also blending with the colors also in the background.
I noticed.
Breast cancer awareness time as we head on in here on the Tobago Updates morning show.
Definitely. I see you and you're in your pink this morning, Candace, and
Yes,
burgundy, blending it very nicely with the background. But Julian, as you mentioned World Food Day just a little while ago, I was able to go there late yesterday afternoon, albeit, but things were still pretty warmed up. I want to say kudos this morning to Kerry Alfred and Karaya Farms. Kerry Alfred has just put out a yogurt, a very local yogurt with different sweeteners at the base. So there is a mango, there is a berry, there is a Kerry was saying what are the other flavors? But I'm saying here, beautiful initiative, beautiful initiative, and it's a must try. All right, if you want to change, your lifestyle, if you want to have a healthy body, it starts with the gut. Thank you, Mr. Isaac. Yes, I'm telling them it starts with the gut. So a healthy gut, healthy body. All right, so and that yogurt helps to put back in the good bacteria that our body needs. So I'm saying here, try out Karaya Farms and their yogurt. It's tasty, it's all natural. You want to taste it. They should be back there today at World Food Days, so give them a try.
Going to connect with that indeed. All right, so we just head on into one of our notices here this morning. Mount Pleasant Credit Union, a notice of the special general meeting. A notice is hereby given that the special general meeting of the Mount Pleasant Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited will be held on Tuesday, the 1st of November 2022 at the Tobago Nutrition Cooperative Society, Bonaccord, Tobago, commencing at 4:30 p.m. So that's Tuesday, 1st November 2022 at 4:30 p.m. This is to consider and approve amendments to the credit union's bylaws. The bylaws can be accessed via the link on the MPCU Facebook page and also the Mount Pleasant Credit Union's website. Members are asked to register on or before Wednesday, the 26th of October 2022. All right, so this notice coming to you courtesy the Mount Pleasant Credit Union special general meeting taking place on Tuesday, the 1st of November 2022. Are we diving on into our birthday celebrations this morning?
Yeah, we are.
All right. Who do we have first on the lineup?
It's quite an interesting lineup. That's our girl. That is our girl there. That is Rhonda Charles celebrating her birthday. And I understand she's a part of a crew. What's the crew?
It's a Bush Vibes crew as far as I understand.
That's right. She's a part. So we have a couple persons celebrating today who are part of the Bush Vibes crew. Rhonda being one of them. Rhonda, love going out to you this morning from all of us here at Tobago Updates.
Happy birthday, Rhonda Charles. This is another Bush Vibes crew member.
Another Bush Vibes crew member, Andre Alad. Andre, love going out to you, boy.
Birthday shout outs to you, Andre Alad.
From Candace and the rest of the Tobago Updates crew.
And on screen we have another member, as far as I understand, of the Bush Vibes crew as well. Rachel Moget, better known to us here as Lady Moget. We want to wish you a happy birthday, Lady Moget celebrating. On screen with us we have Garth Utley, sending out birthday greetings to you, Garth Utley. We trust that you enjoy the celebrations.
My good friend there, Michael Stewart, celebrating his birthday. Michael Stewart, happy birthday going out to you. I'm sending love to you this morning from my family, Tobago Updates family, and our good friends over in St. Lucia.
Yes, happy birthday going out to you, Michael Stewart. When I see Michael Stewart, I think Mike at Night. All right.
That's right. And when you say Mike at Night, you're tipping your age.
Yes.
Young people know nothing
about that. All right. Sending happy birthday going out to Che Keynes Dumas. Che Keynes Dumas celebrating a birthday today. We want to wish you a happy birthday.
And that's Melanie Clark celebrating her birthday. Melanie, love going on to you this morning from the Tobago Updates family. Melanie, have a good one.
And we move from one Melanie to another. This is Melanie Rajman, a wife of Elvis Rajman. Let me give Melanie some trouble this morning. Wishing you a happy birthday, Melanie Rajman. And we trust that you will have an enjoyable celebration today.
All right, and this is Tessa Alfred celebrating her birthday. Tessa, love going out to you. Never a dull moment. You know how to rock it, girl.
I probably have to say happy birthday, Tessa Tomac Alfred. I know she's busy with the Tomac Festival now happening. And on screen, we missed this birthday yesterday. And therefore, we want to send out belated birthday greetings. And she's probably still celebrating straight into the weekend. We want to send birthday shout outs to Miss June Melville. Wishing you a happy birthday, Miss June Melville.
Always a lady. And this is my good friend out there.
You have to add in the sir before it.
That's right. This is Sir Steve Peterkin. Stevie, I love going out to you this morning from my family. The entire Open Bible crew, love going out to you from Tobago Updates. Yes. Have a great one.
And happy birthday as well, as Lavian would say, Daddy, that's Sir Peter King.
That's right.
So birthday shout outs to you, Sir Peter King.
And my good friend here, Marvin Joseph. Marvin, I looked for a picture of you. This was one of the best I found on your social media page. So Marvin, love going out to you this morning out there in the US. Have a great one. This is Aljo's Marvin Joseph.
Yes. Wishing you a happy birthday there. And today, Ria, we'll also be having the opportunity a little later down. If we could give a touch, what's happening in the rundown this morning?
All right.
What's happening in the rundown?
I'm glad that you asked, Julian. So we're talking Carnival. We're just about a week or so away from Carnival. A week. Yes. A week. Yes. The dates are correct. A week away from Carnival. So chatting with us this morning, we will have on set with us, Misha Trim, the chairman of the Tobago Carnival Committee, to chat with us on the Tobago Carnival. Give us an update on where we're at, what's been happening. So we start things off there.
Yes, and we'll continue the conversation this morning with Mariska Thomas, conflict coach. And we're speaking domestic violence. Are abusers by nature or nurture?
Interesting topic.
Very interesting.
As well, it's Credit Union Day.
Yes, and Credit Union Month, the celebrations indeed. So we'll also be connecting with Mr. Joseph Remy, who is currently serving as president of the Cooperative Credit Union League of Trinidad and Tobago, and also president of the Confederation, the Caribbean Confederation of Credit Unions.
All right, and viewers, this morning to wrap things up, you're going to see Julian with his hands in the air.
Come in front for your blessings.
See, Iowa George is going to be on the program with us, so you get a chance this morning to see Julian's hands in the air. You never know. All right, so I was going to be on the program, so it's time off boat cruise. I know a lot of persons were talking about that, so, and it's the 91 91.9 FM and Tobago updates, so we get some more information on that.
Yes, we're going to get some more information in terms of that connection happening here. Ria, I also want to make mention to persons. Yesterday, we saw the official opening happening for First Citizens Bank, and I had the opportunity to be a part of the celebrations there. And folks, yes, the new branch located at Milford Road, just opposite the Cano Bay area there, is now open. As I said, by the time I drove into the area, the first thing that I was, of course, quite pleased with before I even entered the building following the official opening was the fact that there's more parking space.
Oh, wow.
That there is more parking space in that area. So that's the relocation from what the branch that would have been in Canaan is now located at Milford Road.
And the branch in Scarborough remains?
Yes, correct. The branch in Scarborough remains and the branch in Roxborough remains. So now
there's hope for Scotiabank? There's hope for Scotiabank.
All right. So I want to send kudos out to the team, branch manager down there at Tanel Harilal, and also branch manager Scarborough and Roxborough, Belinda Edwards, and the entire team for First Citizens are representing there yesterday and really expanding the reach. They would have had in attendance our very own Chief Secretary, the Honorable Fali Chavez Agustin, and also Prime Minister Keith Rowley, both being part of the activities there for the opening, as well as Deputy Chief Secretary Dr. Faith B. Israel, Tobago West MP Shamfa Kaju, and the likes. A number of officials in attendance yesterday, really signaling a good indication for this new Milford Road First Citizens branch being opened in Tobago. All right, viewers, we want to thank you so much, each and every one of you connecting with us, those on TV, those listening to us via the radio, and those connecting with us online. This is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry, don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry, if your nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry, don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry, if your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry, if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry, if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil will always be here for you. Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It is 7:20 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. Joining us in this segment, we have Misha Trim, chairman of the Tobago Carnival Committee. Morning to you, Misha.
Good morning, Julian.
All right.
Good
So
morning.
as we head straight on into the conversation this morning, we're speaking Tobago Carnival updates. We want to get a sense from you, Misha, where are things at in relation to the celebrations as we prepare for the anticipated, can I call it safely, a long weekend celebration for Carnival 2022?
I think you're safe, Julian. Plans are well on the way. We're excited. I am happy that we're heading into the home stretch of this much anticipated festival, a historic one at that, the first of our kind. I'll make mention that, of course, it's not our first carnival, but of course, it's our first version of October's carnival. And we look forward to hosting many persons on the island as early as this coming weekend, because as you know, there's a long weekend that we have ahead, the Diwali weekend, and heading right into that, we open in the week with, I know, the festivals, and this, I'm speaking to more of the private promotions in the space, and then we move into our weekend, October 28th through 30th, where we have Pan Trimbago's presentation on Friday. It's called Pan and Powder, and you will see the streets of Scarborough come alive on Friday afternoon into evening with Pan Trimbago's Pan and Powder, where they're hosting a couple steel bands from Trinidad along with their Tobago counterparts for a celebration to really mark the opening of our festivities. The next morning, the action moves to Crown Point for Juve celebrations, and I'd like to have everyone know that we have 24 bands for this Juve celebration, and so this is going to be a mega one. We look forward after Juve from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. Moving right into that, it's the Mother's Life Festival, and that is to be held in Crown Point as well, and that is from 9 a.m. through 2 p.m. After that, we head on over to Tuco's all-inclusive event, which they have been supported by the Tobago House of Assembly, the Carnival Committee. And on the evening of the 29th, we head east to Roxglue, which is a night mass presentation. And I'm sure I'll see you there, Julian, because of course, all the divisions are taking part alongside the Juve bands that have presented normally in the February's incarnation of Carnival. After that, Roxglue, we actually have, that is a night mass presentation that culminates with a soca concert. And of course, it's headlined by Bungie Garling and Faye and Lions and the Vikings. And we have a couple surprise acts or friends from Grenada, to name a few. After that, we have the finale on Sunday in Scarborough again. And we have the Parade of the Bands, where we'll see at least, oh yes, we have 18 registered bands out of Tobago, and that is a pretty mass bands. And then we have about 20 bands registered to bring our traditional characters and our culture alive again on the streets of Scarborough. So we have an action-packed weekend. We're looking forward to, like I said, hosting many persons on the island, but also to have our culture or heritage or food or way of living on display. And we do hope that everyone has a safe and enjoyable carnival season.
All right, Misha, good morning to you. I've noticed that we didn't hear anything about Pan this time around. Why no Pan for this October carnival?
Well, you may have missed it, Ria. The opening of the festival on Friday is actually a Pan event. Pan and Powder is hosted by Pan Trimbago Tobago Division, and they actually have an event as well this weekend, and it's called Pan on the Waterfront. So they are very much front and center. I mean, we can't have carnival without Pan. So yes, they are part of this, and I like I said, it's a celebration on the streets. So it's a moving event, and the presentation is called Pan and Powder, where they're inviting persons to come along. They have their packages being sold. Actually, to buy into the packages, you get a T-shirt and a couple memorabilia for this first and historic event. And of course, they're looking to invite families. The age group is wide because of the time. It's from 5 p.m. in the evening and it goes until 10 p.m. at night. And people can also get home and get ready in time to attend the Vibes with Voicey concert, which is not one of the carnival planned events, but it's an event that has taken hold on the calendar of events, and it's a much anticipated event as well on that Friday evening.
Okay, right. Thank you.
One of my follow-up areas, Misha, most certainly there is much talk in the space currently about this newly constructed, what is intended to be a stage area in Scarborough. Tell us, what will that area be the focal point for during the activities happening for Tobago Carnival?
So, there are some surprises. Even for me, I do not have all the details on it. It is a stage. And one of the things when we sat down, we met with stakeholders who wanted things to see things happen a little different for them and their masqueraders. And they have asked for a stage. And I believe that the thought process behind that was to provide something that encompassed the background of Scarborough and the natural aesthetic. And I believe that will remain a surprise. And whatever it holds for us, it will be something that will be magical, spectacular, and this is the first of its kind in terms of what we're trying to portray in this October's festivities. And so I know there is much talk in this space, and I hope that the stuff is worked out with the Division of Infrastructure and the necessary parties. But if not, I will take the focus right away from there, because in the original plans we do have an incarnation of a stage, and I'm guessing that you guys are looking forward to a stage. And so I would say that look out for all the surprises along the route. It's a long one, it's a scenic one, and it's one being built out with all the marvel and splendor that we can possibly have.
All right. And I am trusting that we will have the necessary police guidance and so over the course of the weekend, particularly in relation to these, the identified routes, because we would have had your deputy chairman on, also giving us some insights into the routes for Roxborough, Scarborough, and the Crown Point. There remains no changes to those routes?
The routes remain the same, and the police are on board. Those routes were actually approved by the Tobago Emergency Management authorities in conjunction with the police. And of course, safety is our number one priority for the committee as well as myself. It's our concern, and we have met with the police, and they have indicated that their plans are well in place, and it will be all encompassing. It's a sea, air, and land operation that will really speak to safety of all on the island. And we have a press conference planned for Friday where they will actually inform persons of some of the mechanisms in place to ensure that we have a safe, healthy, and happy carnival season.
Amisha, you're on this morning and you're selling the Tobago Carnival to our viewers abroad. Why should they visit? What is going to make it so unique? Why is this a must-attend event?
Well, it's historic. It's historic, and we have asked all the participants, because believe it or not, our stakeholders that we have fought with some time. Of course, we've come to a place where we actually produce a show. We're asking citizens really come to experience a little island itself by claim in the carnival space at a different time outside of Trinidad's festivities. And so, like I said earlier, the quality of the island, the richness of the island, the flora, the fauna, the food, everything will come together within this weekend because of how we have placed the calendar. We have Crown Point, we have locations rather. We have Crown Point, we have Scarborough, we have the East. So you have 3 locations, and that's just for what the Tobago Carnival Committee has planned. Of course, there are private promotions that came on board, and they are doing things like parties, things that we never had before, as boat rides, and we're going to see a lot of them. And we hope that there will be something for everyone. So this first iteration in October will create the foundation moving forward for what the event will eventually shape out to be in years to come. And so we may not have everything that everyone wants to see, but you're definitely going to see all of Tobago in this space in a very rich and cultural way, where we speak to legacy, tradition, and really asking persons to enjoy all of Tobago and what Tobago has to offer, and we know what those things are. So outside of the activities for Carnival, there is a Tobago living, there is a Tobago food, there is beaches. And so we're asking people, for the first time since pandemic, we're having a major celebration, to come on down and celebrate with us as we make an identifiable stamp on the Carnival festive calendar for globally, that is.
Misha, we saw 17.5 million approved for the Tobago Carnival. Give us a sense, what will be some of the major cost centers to be treated with for the coming out of the funds that have been approved?
All right. Good question, Julian. So I spoke before about health and safety, and that is a major one, as many might know. That is a major chunk in the budget. Another major chunk of the budget in a particular way, because this is, believe it or not, people are saying, well, we've done Carnival before, but we were actually carving out a brand, and in doing that, there are marketing costs that are associated with that, and so that you would find that you use the most identifiable part of this carnival so far, the logo and the branding that has been done. We employed a number of creatives on the island to come up with the branding and the brand story, and so a part of the budget went to that, feeding into the orange economy, as it were. Another area was the subventions. That was a much talked about area of our engagement, and the stakeholders made their overtures, and the mass bands, Tobago, Tuku, the Mud event, and even private promoters are all supported on this budget. So this budget really speaks to, like I said, safety. There is a marketing and branding aspect, and there are some subventions that are given to the stakeholders and interest groups to ensure that we really put on a marvelous show come October 28th through 30th.
All right, and I heard you speak of safety here. We also hear Dr. Keith Rowley, Prime Minister, indicating that he will not be taking part in Tobago's carnival this time around, this October carnival, for fear of contracting the coronavirus a third time around. In terms of what is being put in place for the safety of the participants, is it the TCC's responsibility? Is it the individual band leaders' responsibility? What is being put in place to safeguard patrons?
Yeah, it's a collective responsibility, Ria. And just last evening, I was on the phone with Miss Melora Becker from the team of Tobago Emergency Management Preparedness Division, and they definitely are putting mitigating mechanisms in place. They have, and again, in the presser, they will actually come on and give a full layout of what they're actually intending to do. But they are having, of course, ambulatory services spread throughout the routes to mitigate for any kind of accidents and incidents. But they've also had a plan for augmented hospital type scenario where they don't want to put any kind of burden on the major hospitals on the island, which now is Scarborough and Roxborough. But they have also put things in place to have a setup where we have doctors, nurses, and attendants at particular points. And very soon, in the next couple of days, you will see this being advertised as we go out on our social media channels to inform the public of their safety mechanisms and what is in place along the route on those days in particular to deal with any kind of untoward incidents. So a full-fledged plan, I must say, I'm very pleased. It's not the first time that carnival has happened, so there are mechanisms in place. But of course, we're anticipating a larger amount of persons on the island, and they will speak to it in the presser on Friday. But definitely, I think people really would be comforted to know the level of mechanics that has gone into really focusing on safety of patrons.
All right, so as we look to wrap this morning's interview, Misha, I just want you to remind the general public where can they connect for information, remind us of your website, your socials, telephone contacts, etc., that persons can make contact for additional information.
Yes. So the quickest route is 777 Bago. And I have to say good morning to the staff down at the Secretariat and Miss Antonia Thomas, who has been holding it down and really doing a marvelous job at informing the public. So 777 Bago is the hotline. The Secretariat is located at Shore Park Cultural Complex. Shore Park Complex, we now have rebranded. And we have our website, www.welcometobago.com, where all information can be lodged, all queries and anything that you need to find out. That would be a good place. So I spoke to website, I spoke to Secretariat, I spoke to, those are all the channels that are available.
All right, and very quickly here, Heather Sampson is on the live asking, good morning to all. What time does the Sunday parade start?
It starts at 10 a.m. and ends at 6 p.m.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Misha Trim, Chairman of the Tobago Carnival Committee, joining us here as we all anticipate. Ria, every day there's an event, every day in the lineup.
Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that. At the end of the day, it's about persons having a good time, yes, enjoying themselves in their space, but also remaining safe. All right. I know that the medical persons on the island are pretty concerned about what happens after Carnival.
All right. So viewers, at this point, we want to thank you so much for the continued love and support. And we want to remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supply specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Are you ready? On Sunday 23rd October at the Dwight York Stadium, featuring a man who understands the assignment.
Attention, Jesus, I get sick of it.
The Ladies' Choice.
Girl, you got the body of a goddess. Some girl I talk, tell them, say them happy.
Jamaica's hitmaker.
I tell us, say me, now worry about no. As long as me got life.
DJ.
Me girl out the road, so she want love the woman of me yard.
Sunday, October 23rd, 3 a.m. to 10 a.m.
At the Dwight York Stadium is water,
Paint, foam,
powder,
coolers, and bikinis.
and breakfast in the biggest true beef flat and Tobago carnival.
Soca Jam.
Soca Jam, 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 jam.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Viewers, welcome back. Welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. This morning on our program, we're chatting with Mariska Thomas, who's a conflict resolution coach. And this morning, the focus is on domestic violence. Are abusers by nature or nurture? And this morning, she's going to clear things up for us. Mariska, good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
It's really good to have you on the program. And I often wonder, and it's a question out there in the minds of persons, are you born an abuser? Do you become an abuser based on the environment? Is it passed on? Is it a generational thing because your grandfather was an abuser and then your father was an abuser? Does it mean that you will automatically become an abuser? You start there with us.
So what happens is that, well, currently from the research, they have found there's an enzyme called monoamine oxidase A. Persons who have less of it tend to be more prone to abusing. However, our genes are heavily influenced by our environment. So even if you have the gene, that does not mean that you are going to be an abusive person. Because it's not like you are born and then your mommy or the doctor can say, you have given birth to an abusive child.
Right.
You know, it's the environment that helps to influence what the person does. So things like appearance, now it's not the best, but a lot of things that we accept as normal in our society today, such like a child crying and the parent would say, you know, keep quiet. It's not important. Why are you crying?
Or it'll help strengthen their lungs, and that's maybe a singer, leave them to cry.
Right. We prefer that way because in that way the child is able to express themselves. But when we decide to cut them off, telling them to stop crying, what are you crying for, things like that, you are not validating the fact that this child has feelings. You are not allowing them to express themselves. And generally when people feel as though their feelings are invalidated, they tend to find that validation elsewhere.
Right.
Whereas the person that you're supposed to get it first from is your parents, are your parents.
Now, there's some who would say that it is a matter of choice because one can grow in an abusive relationship or in an abusive family and not become an abuser. And these are your expert thoughts here, or your expert opinions. Is it that you can grow in an abusive family, or your father abusing your mother, because it happens where mothers abuse the fathers,
yes,
and not be an abusive person? In fact, be very, very different on the extreme, you know, being passive more than aggressive?
It is a choice. So yes, I would agree to what you say. There are some persons who are in abusive situations. One person might turn out to be extremely abusive, the other person, nothing like it. It's a choice because in an abusive situation, what persons are trying to achieve is power and control.
Right.
So in an abusive relationship, they say, here what? The person that I'm with, that person seems to be an easier target because you will not see that same person going to work and shouting at their boss and creating a fracas. But when they get home, the person that they're living with, that is the person that they choose to target their abuse, their frustration, and so on towards. So it's definitely a choice. However, seeing as it's a choice, that means that we have options in how we choose to display our behaviors. So we should learn other avenues in which to express ourselves. So instead of the shouting and the throwing objects and things like that, if we learn, especially as a child, if we learn that there are other avenues in which to express yourself. For instance, a child might be crying and the mommy says, why are you crying? That's not important. Instead of doing that, you can ask, why are you crying? And the child may say, mommy, I'm sad. Why are you sad?
Have a conversation.
Have the conversation. So what the intent is to explore the feelings that they are having. So I'm feeling sad because this particular thing happened, okay? Then the mommy can ask the child, why did this make you feel sad? So they go on, they explain it. And then because, let's say if the child had screamed and thrown a tantrum, the mommy can then say, well, hear what? I understand that you're feeling sad, but the way that you behaved was not the correct way to go about it. Next time you should do this instead.
Right.
So you help them through their feelings.
Find a way to address how they're feeling.
Exactly. And that way, with a lot of practice, you know, kids are
new.
They
may not get it right the first time.
Exactly. And they are new to this world.
Right.
You know?
And think about, and I'm glad that you mentioned that. So let's talk about the adults, because there are adults who still haven't gotten it right. All right. So we're talking about children, you know, practicing it to get it right. But there are adults who still have not found that way of, or that manner in which to deal with their emotions. And before we get to that, let's go back to some of the influencers. What are some of those factors that influence individuals to become abusive?
Well, definitely, the environment, your friends, adults, shows, movies, songs, anything that you may feel validated by. So if you say, I am sad, and another friend says they understand your feelings, because that person would have said that they understand what you are going through, even though that person might be a negative influence, you are going to go in that manner because that person has validated what you feel.
They've identified with your emotions.
Exactly.
Right.
So bad influence or good influence, you tend to go where the validation is. Yeah?
All right. And what are some of the characteristics of an abuser? Can you look at some? Because we see some charming persons out there, male and female, charming, good looking, well put together, suit and tie. And yet, when you hear some of the horror stories, you cannot associate one with the other.
Because you cannot judge a book by its cover. Yeah? So some abusive persons, they tend to use abusive language. They may not say it to everyone around, but when they speak to you, that's what they're saying. They may not say it as loud for everybody to hear, but it's directed to you. Right. They may try to isolate you from your friends and family. Some of these persons, they may not have received treatment for some mental conditions like depression or suicidal thoughts, things like that. So a lot of people are going through a lot of things that we can't see with the eye. But when they behave in certain manners, you are able to identify, oh, something is going on here. I'm not sure what it is, but something is going on here.
Definitely. So there's no look to an abuser.
No.
There's no physical look.
No.
You can't say all abusers have brown eyes,
No.
all abusers have blue eyes, right? Okay. What can parents do to lessen the chance of children becoming abusers in the future? Because you don't want to know that you're raising an individual who's going to become a menace or a nuisance to society or to another family.
So what parents can do is to start off by validating the feelings. Like we said before, have the conversation, examine the child's feelings as they go along. Because like we said, children are new to this. They don't understand how to navigate certain things. So you as a parent have to take an active role in figuring out, why is my child behaving like this? Is there anything I can do? Keep the door open for them to have a conversation, because when we dismiss their feelings, the child tends to shut down. They are not going to come back to speak to you all lovey-dovey. No, they're going to say, if I behave like this, my mother is not going to take me on.
She's not going to take me seriously.
Right.
They pull away.
They pull away, exactly. So now when you as a parent, you're coming to speak to them, no, I don't want to speak to you. I will speak to somebody who wants to listen. When you shut them down, you give the impression that you don't care. You don't want to listen. Yeah?
All right, Mariska, thank you so much for chatting with us. And I think these are very critical and very crucial issues to deal with even in today's society, today's world. And this is not isolated only to Tobago. This is wherever you live, because abusers don't only live in Tobago. We've got some, but they don't only live in Tobago. They live, they could be your next door neighbor. In fact, they could be right there in your home. So some good information for you out there. And please give us a number for persons to contact if they need someone to talk to, if they need someone to share what's been happening with, and they may not, they may not readily go to an office to speak to someone, but they may send a message. Who can they contact?
So persons can contact us at Enrich Life Limited. They can WhatsApp us at 757-9963. They can also go to our website at enrichedlifelimited.com. Or you can even send an email at info@enrichedlifelimited.com.
Thank you so much, Mariska Thomas, for chatting with us this morning. There was lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Remember, share the live, share the live, share the live.
This is it.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level.
Welcome to Lamarche Parfait Day Spa and Wellness Center, your premier spa experience located at Bonaccord, Tobago. Visit us today for facials, cellulite treatments, body contours, body treatments, pedicures, manicures, and much more. We have gift cards for all occasions and corporate events. Connect with us on Facebook at Lamarche Parfait Day Spa or call us 273-7772.
You have to remember remember, Jerome.
What?
It's just the other day I had a bypass surgery.
That I mean you had to bypass me.
You don't know the position I in?
Position? When that was? You know how long me see you in a position?
Saturday, November 5th, Shore Park, Tobago. It's Million Laughs Caribbean Comedy Commerce, the mega laugh festival to end the Tobago Carnival season, featuring Tobago's finest in folklore and musical entertainment, together with some of the Caribbean's top comedians, Larry Joseph, Daryl the Saint Mendoza, Dolores, Alan the Entertainer, Handsome Sun, Mako Media, and more. Get your ticket specials available on Island E-Tickets and various outlets nationwide, or visit the Million Laughs handles for more info. It's Comedy Commerce in Tobago, a wee kind of commerce.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Morning viewers, and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show, coming to you here live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. And this morning, yes, Ria, I got started talking about pink, and I know we got the cue in terms of moving it along, but I want to say this morning that my shirt is courtesy Checkpoint, and that's Checkpoint located at Upper Main Street in Scarborough, 639-5148. Remember to Checkpoint. That's where I got my pink combination. I said to them, Ria said to me and said that I needed to have pink. We dealing with cancer awareness and so on, and they said, don't worry, Julian, we got you. So that's Checkpoint located at Upper Main Street in Scarborough. All right. As well, we've got some information coming to you here from the Mount Pleasant Credit Union and their notice of the special general meeting. So notice is hereby given that the special general meeting of the Mount Pleasant Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited will be held on Tuesday, the 1st November 2022 at the Tobago Nutrition Cooperative Society located at Bonacord, Tobago, commencing from 4:30 p.m. to consider and approve amendments to the credit union's bylaws. The bylaws can be accessed via the link on the MPCU Facebook page and the MPCU's website. Members are asked to register on or before Wednesday, 26th October 2022. And this is by order of the Board of Directors. So remember, the meeting starts at 4:30 p.m. on the 1st of November, but you are asked to register just a few days before on the Wednesday, by Wednesday the 26th October 2022. All right, and we're heading straight on into a quick birthday celebration this morning. Inga Neptune. This morning we are celebrating with Inga Neptune. We want to wish you a happy birthday, Inga Neptune, coming from the entire Tobago Updates family. All right, and at this point, viewers, we head on in to the next segment, as today is International Credit Union Day, and the celebrations take place for the entire month. And we have on with us none other than Mr. Joseph Remy, President of the Cooperative Credit Union League of Trinidad and Tobago, and also President of the Caribbean Confederation of Credit Unions. Morning, and welcome to you, sir. Good morning.
Hi, good morning, and good morning to your co-host, and it's a pleasure to be here on International Credit Union Day to speak to the issues of union and their value propositions.
All right, well, let's jump right in here. Let's find out what's happening. We're talking Credit Union Day, Credit Union Month, celebrations so along. Give us an idea this morning, Mr. Remy, of what persons can expect. What can the clients, customers of these credit unions expect for the month?
Okay, well, we had started our month in a very progressive manner, and we launched International Credit Union Week. On Sunday, we had a very large gathering at the Mokrapo East Secondary School grounds. Unfortunately, the rain played some games with us, and we had to curtail to some extent. But in all, the entire day was a tremendous success. We had over 1,500 credit unionists from around the country gathering together to network and to socialize in an environment that we believe is important, consistent with our principles. Today, on International Credit Union Day, several credit unions throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago be hosting sessions for their members. They have fairs they have health fairs and they have different open house sessions that will facilitate their members so that they could walk into their credit unions and be able to access some of the credit unions' products and services in terms of they have on display. And then they have some gifts that they normally give to credit unions. The league is going to be all ceremony that is going to be held at the police credit union building at 6 p.m. We were operating for the last 2 or 3 years with COVID-19. And we are also closing off our credit union week on Saturday, next Saturday on the 5th of November in Go, where we will be having our awards and our gala dinner with the Tobago chaplain. So there are a lot of activities that we have that is going to take place during the balance of this month to commemorate International Credit Union Week, International Credit Union Month, and to put the focus on credit unions as the alternative business model in Trinidad.
All right. Mr. Remy, let me ask you very quickly. There was a little technical break there with the connection when you were speaking about what was taking place this evening. Yes, Mr. Remy?
I've lost you again. Sorry, I lost the connection.
Just repeat for us what's taking place this evening. There was a little technical break in the transmission there when you were speaking about what's happening this evening before you went on to the 5th with the closing taking place in Tobago.
Okay, this afternoon, the Cooperative Credit Union League will be hosting their annual awards and dinner at the PCU, that's the Police Credit Union flat in Barataria. And this is where we recognize and reward all the outstanding performers here in the various categories with respect to credit unions' performance and operations over the year. So it's a gala event that is innate in terms of giving out awards.
The internet seems to be acting, his connection seems to be...
Yes, definitely having some connection challenges there. So we'll try to get him back in terms of with the internet connection that's happening there. That's Mr. Joseph Remy speaking to. Very interesting, making mention of the fact that on today, Credit Union Day, throughout Trinidad and Tobago, you will see credit unions having a number of initiatives taking place, some doing health fairs, opportunities for training, and some having within the credit union space. And I think also, safely say also here in Tobago, where it's a good day to visit your credit union.
Very good day.
As members will certainly be appreciated far and wide. We have Mr. Remy back on with us.
Yes, Julian, I'm here. I know some technical issues.
Yes. Mr. Joseph Remy, tell us the theme for this year's Credit Union Month. Tell us a little bit about the theme and the significance, particularly Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean, and the movement at large.
Okay, the theme is your financial future with a credit union. And we believe more than ever, now coming out of a pandemic, we have realized the importance of financial inclusion and financial independence. And it's in that context, the theme for this year's celebrations is very critically important, because we would like to see more and more individuals, those who are considered unbanked, we like to see them included in the financial sphere so that they can have access to products and services that are affordable, accessible, and sustainable. So the theme is important because we would want to see the deepening of and the deepening of the penetration rate for credit union, the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago. And that is why we believe to lift yourself out of this financial situation, you need to empower your financial future by joining and being part of the cooperative credit union movement.
Good point there, Mr. Remy. Tell us, for those viewing and listening, what you would say is the distinction or the key reason for going with a credit union versus other financial institutions.
Well, the key distinction is the fact that you own the direction of your financial future. As a member of the credit union, you are part owner and you have a very direct say in the operations of the credit union. And the value add proposition is the fact that all the surplus that accrues at the end of the operations are redistributed among the membership with credit union through dividend allocation, which thereby allow credit unions to increase their value proposition, providing affordable loans and other products and services to their members. So it is a holistic win situation where you have all the value added, and when you borrow and you continue to pay back, you are adding back capital in the credit union, which builds financial security and builds generational wealth for a lot of citizens in Trinidad and Tobago.
All right, now, Mr. Remy, I think the connection was pretty bad a while ago when Julian had asked the question about what was happening later on today. So I don't know if you can use the opportunity at this time to give us an idea of what's happening today.
Okay, we are having our award in the Cooperative Credit Union League. We'll be having our award ceremony at the East Credit Union flagship building on Eastern Main Road in Barataria, beginning at 6 p.m. We will honor all the outstanding credit union performances over the last, and we believe this is an opportunity to motivate credit unions to lift their operational performance and efficiencies so that we could always be ahead of the requirements that are there in the financial sector.
Mr. Joseph Remy, oftentimes when some people think credit union, and those who are not as familiar, they think, a little community kind of engagement or entity. But tell us about the, what you refer to as the broader base of the movement based in the context of membership, as well as financial stability, particularly here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Okay, we belong to a global network. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have over, I would say, around 700,000 members, comprising that belongs to 120 odd credit, with an asset of $16 billion. And globally, we have over 89,000 credit unions with a total asset of just around $4 trillion US, which is a significant contribution to the gross domestic product globally and locally and rurally. So when you believe that you belong to a small credit union, you belong to a broader global network and community that has provided tremendous benefits to members globally. And we believe that the more we expand, the more we will see the improvement in the standard of living for citizens across the globe.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much there, Mr. Remy. And we want to say congratulations to you and all the credit unions throughout Trinidad and Tobago. We certainly will be visiting our credit unions today.
Yes. Most definitely.
Please do.
Mr. Remy, it's a good day to visit a credit union.
Definitely, and we will hope that International Credit Union Day will be 365 days every year now.
All right, excellent. Anything you want to share very quickly in closing before we wrap this morning's interview on International Credit Union Day?
Just to re-emphasize that we would be happy to join the Tobago Credit Union family on the 5th, because we believe that the Tobago structure is very unique. There is a plethora of community-based credit unions, and I think they are very well poised to provide that financial empowerment to their citizens. They are intertwined into the respective communities. So on behalf of the League, I wish them all the best, and I wish the entire Trinidad and Tobago a happy International Credit Union Day.
Very much there, Mr. Joseph Remy, connecting with us this morning, President of the Cooperative Credit Union League of Trinidad and Tobago, also serving as President of the Caribbean Confederation of Credit Unions, and representing us out there also as a Director on the World Council. So thank you so much again, Mr. Joseph Remy, for joining us here on the Tobago Updates morning show. It's Credit Union Month, and by instruction of Mr. Joseph Remy, this is a good day to visit a credit union.
Definitely. Well, we'll be visiting, definitely.
All right. So we want to thank you again, viewers, this morning, each and every one of you connecting with us here at the Tobago Updates morning show. And Rhea, we prepare to head on over to
GMT. So have a great one, Tobago. We will see you tomorrow. Over to Candace and the GMT.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your life can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider, Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you.
Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Drop down there with a lot of pretty girls down there, down in Tobago.
Welcome to Lamarche Buffet Day Spa and Wellness Center, your premier spa experience located at Bonaccord, Tobago. Visit us today for facials, cellulite treatments, body contours, body treatments, pedicures, manicures, and much more. We have gift cards for all occasions and corporate events. Connect with us on Facebook at Lamarche Buffet Day Spa or call us 273-7772.
Hush, the cooling event, October 27, 2022. We bring to you live Skinny Fabulous. Also performing live, Viking Ding Dong.
If you know you cannot handle the people rum, when you see the people rum, leave it alone.
Oros League 2 Montoving Golf Club, Tobago. Gates open from 1 to 8 p.m. A lineup of DJs to shell on the place. One of Tobago's best duo team, Selector 3D and Hyperkid Snoopy. Tickets available at Jane Monkey Crown Point, Tobago, or Red Rose Boutique, Scarborough. Get your online tickets at islandetickets.com. So tell a friend to bring a friend to the biggest cool event for Tobago Carnival.
This event is sponsored by Campari, TTT Media Group, Barefoot, Tobago House of Assembly, Creamery Novelties.
Hush, the cooling event.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denasia.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong, and the vibes is never wrong.
Welcome to Good Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Candace Jackson, and let's get started with the news in 90 seconds. Assemblyman for Roxborough Argyle, Watson Duke, questioned the reasoning behind the construction of a stage in the sea for the Tobago Carnival. Duke pointed out that after the PDP opposed the Sandos project because of environmental concerns, elected THA officials disregarded proper infrastructural work procedures. He is now questioning the ability of the current administration to lead after being elected under a PDP banner. According to Duke, the elected assemblymen are not governing according to promises made on the election trail. Instead, he believes they continue to display childish behavior in public office. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley will not participate in the Tobago Carnival because he fears being infected by the coronavirus again. Dr. Rowley spoke to reporters yesterday at the World Food Day Expo in Bacolod. When questioned, the Prime Minister said he was affected by the COVID-19 virus twice and has since avoided large crowds to prevent a third infection. However, he hoped that the many people participating in the Tobago Carnival will be safe. Dr. Rowley visited the livestock display at the World Food Day Expo and avoided the groups of school children and visitors that cheered him on. The Trinidad and Tobago Unified Teachers Association elected a new president on Wednesday. TUTA's new president is Martin Lumpkin, who received 15 more votes than the outgoing president, Antonia Tika de Freitas. Following preliminary results, Lumpkin vowed to continue the fight for better wage negotiations for teachers. He also renewed TUTA's commitment to acting in the best interests of students and teachers across Trinidad and Tobago. And that was your news in 90 seconds. And well, viewers, we've got a lot to discuss today, and we're starting off our discussions in the field of agriculture. So if you had paid attention to Mandate Monday, we'd have heard from our Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, and that's of course none other than Ms. Natisha Charles Panton. And she gave a very comprehensive update on what happened over the past 3 months. And then, you know, we have a very agriculture-centered week, I should say. You know, starting off with the opening of Blue Food Day, the return of Blue Food Day, I should say, on Sunday. The opening of the Food Hub on Monday. We had the launch of the Little Cocoa Estate experience. That was on Tuesday. Yesterday was the World Food Day. Wow, it's a lot of food. But yeah, so on set with us this morning, viewers, we have, of course, none other than Secretary Natisha Charles Panton. Good morning and welcome to you. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Tobago. I am okay.
It's a busy week.
Yes, it has been, and it continues to be.
Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna just kind of give a little round off on what happened this week. Now we had Blue Food Day on Sunday, yes. And of course the focus was on dashing because that's what Blue Food Festival is all about. You know, when you were there up there on Sunday, did you see anything innovative coming out of that festival? Anything new after not having a festival for a couple of years that we can push towards, you know, strengthening our food security drive here in Tobago?
Well, I am proud of the community for pulling that together and continuing to pull that activity together. Of course, I saw a lot of new things, dashing in everything, dashing in soaps, dashing in pies, dashing in ice cream, dashing in drinks. So, I mean, it was, what to say, a rootsy day, and I enjoyed it. Actually, if anybody in Tobago they know me well, they know Mrs. Panton loves everything natural, right? From soaps, creams, hair products. So I totally enjoyed the Blue Food Festival.
No, but are we seeing that people are putting the focus, our farmers, our agro-processors are putting that focus on dashing towards making that a viable product that, you know, we could even export?
Oh, yes, certainly. And TADCO, the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, they have been working with the farmers in order to increase their capacity to supply alternative flowers, which we will be launching very soon in Trinidad and putting those flowers on the shelves.
And I mean, certainly in Tobago, you're going to see those products.
Oh, definitely. And you will also experience them in other products, other value-added products. So people will be using the alternative flowers to make different things.
Great. And of course, viewers, if you missed out on the Blue Food Festival, I mean, there was so much that was on display as to how you can use that dashing flour, because pretty much all the vendors were using dashing flour in some form or the other. Correct. From everything for kurma to pizza to there was so much. So if you were not at Blue Food Festival, you missed out. Yes. But moving on to Monday, because like I said, we had Sunday, we had Monday, we had Tuesday, we had Wednesday.
Correct.
So Monday we had the opening of the food hub at Shore Park, utilizing that temporary facility. That was the temporary market facility.
Yes. So the Shore Park Food Hub, it was, well, actually the name was given by Owen Dillon, right? We wanted a unique name, a name to represent the facility, and he came up with a fantastic name based on the concept. And we wanted to promote our local agro-processors, right? We have not been doing that, and of course, the farmers would have a hub that they can come to get clients. So I think it's an excellent concept. It came out of my visit, and you know, my technical officers accompanied me to Grenada, and we wanted to you know, monetize a lot of what we have here in Tobago based on what we saw there. And I applaud Grenadians for maintaining their economy outside of oil and gas. Like what we are doing, we have been doing for years, just focusing on oil and gas. They don't have that. And how have they been surviving? And we have so many natural resources. We have so many talented people in Tobago. So why not explore our talents and market ourselves? And if you listen to me in the last city, well, for the budget, I would have expressed that agriculture would be focusing on 4 developmental pillars: production, agro-processing, research and marketing, and of course agro-tourism or agro-ecotourism. So I'm happy to announce that agriculture has finally found an agro-ecotourism product that we can market to the world.
And how often will the food hub be opened?
In the first instance, well, the food hub will be open this week on Friday until Sunday. But in the first instance, Thursday to Sunday, and then evolving to every day, right? So people can go there eventually and get breakfast, lunch and dinner, and it should go up to midnight, right? So that is the vision. We want people to come off the port, come off the airport, and experience our local culture.
Well, you kind of preempted my next question, of course, and that was tied into tourism, because we are seeing, we have the cruise ship season starting back again soon, and we have a number of cruise ships lined up to come in. It's pretty exciting what's happening there. And will we see any way for the signage, etc., to direct cruise passengers to the food hub in the same way, you know, where you go to St. Lucia and those areas, you direct tourists to the craft market areas?
And this is what I love about this my administration, how we work together with everything. So we knew that Carnival was coming, so we wanted to be prepared. And when I say we prepared, we wanted the people of Tobago to be prepared to capitalize on the tourists coming into the country. And of course, TADCO will be advertising on the port, the airport, and TADCO has products on the boat already, bread, cake, right? So TADCO will be marketing the people of Tobago, so that when people come in, of course people get hungry when they're partying and they're fetting it, so they're going to go straight to that food hub and enjoy the local cuisines there.
So now when we have cruise ships walking off the vessels, they would have an area to go to, because we know normally they just walk up and down that Milford Road and there's not much to see. Yes. But we have to make sure that they actually get to there. Shore Park to, you know, experience what is there at the food hub.
Of course, and everything is about an experience. At the food hub, at the launch, I experienced, so it's the first time I had Balata wine, for example. Wow. I got a sample and I was like, yes, I'm taking that bottle right now. So, I mean, it's all about an experience. The Little Great River Cocoa experience, when you got there, and I saw you there.
Oh, yes, we were there. And I mean, I'm assuming that we have those clips lined up.
Yes, I mean, it was an experience. You get to experience the history, nature, even interpersonal relationships. You know, you're building relationships with the school children. They got to sip and paint. They got to see the assemblymen cooking, and they got to experience the local cuisines. It was fun, laughter, culture, dancing the cocoa, you had music.
Yes, folks,
you had
I was one of the cooks.
Yes, you had the river there, the ambience, it was cool. I mean, everything about Tobago, you experience a bit of it at the Lower Great River Cocoa Experience. So that is another product, an agro-ecotourism product that our division, we are so proud of, you know, creating it, and we're going to continue running it under the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company.
So let me get an idea of what is the plan for developing that Le Cocoa Estate, because there was something interesting things that we saw there. So other than, I mean, there is the twin falls that are there. I mean, you walk like a little, about a half an hour hike. It's a very exciting hike. I've done it already, and the waterfalls there are absolutely beautiful. But what we did not know is that there is a water wheel there.
Yes.
And it's very well preserved.
Yes, and we have to continue preserving it. And of course, antiquities, that unit is under the Division of Tourism, and that's part of their mandate. But we will work together with tourism to ensure that we protect what's left there, right? Some of it has been stolen, of course, but we have to make an effort, and this is the move. Now is the time to preserve what we have there. But the plan is, right, we're going to have the people that, you know, there are some people that are not interested in the carnival so much, but they're going to use the opportunity to camp, right? And so the Christian community, they have an opportunity to enjoy the ambience during the carnival season by going to the Lower Great River Cocoa Estate, right? And of course, they're going to experience all the lovely things you experienced when you were there.
Yes. And you know, and one of the focus for opening this or creating this experience is to also introduce people or reintroduce people, I should say, to cocoa. And you know, you know that we have so many issues right now in regrowing cocoa. There is the issue of parrots that are, you know, as sort of a bugbear for farmers and so on that are trying to revive the cocoa industry. We also have the effects of climate change that are changing the weather conditions and the temperatures needed to effectively grow cocoa. So what is the division doing? Because you guys are pushing cocoa production here in Tobago. What are you doing to deal with those issues, those very, very real issues that are very challenging?
Correct. And we are all about collaborating with different organizations. And of course, the most reputable is the Food and Agricultural Organization. So we are working in conjunction with them to, you know, monitor the impacts of climate change on our agriculture sector. And Tamika Seals, who is the chairman of the Cocoa Revival Committee, she did extensive work with the ministry in Trinidad, and they came up with a bird squawker or whaler, right? So we are in the process of procuring one, and before we procure it, of course, we have to test it to see how effective it would be in the cocoa fields, and Lure is the site, the testing site. So we are obviously working at different methods. The forestry department, they are also coming up with innovative ideas in terms of, you know, egg removals and all of that. So yes, we are actively pinpointing different strategies to, you know, protect the cocoa locally. And of course, the Ministry of Agriculture in Trinidad, they have continuously been training our field workers to maintain the cocoa and bring the cocoa fields back into productivity.
And you know, one of the things that we're also looking at is increasing our cocoa production. Yes. How many estates are we looking towards developing in Tobago? I know you're using Lure Estate as that test ground.
Yes.
But how many are we looking at?
Oh, wow. So we have a lot of private estates. I know Pat Turpin, she has private estate. We have a bit of cocoa up by THTI. And Lure, of course, over 140 acres. So if you go around the entire island, you would see remnants of cocoa and our cocoa history. Right? So altogether, I can't pinpoint the exact amount, but we definitely have a lot of estates that were under cocoa that need to be brought back into productivity. And of course, you see, we are actively doing that.
Okay. And now just to hone in on Lure Estate a little bit, because of course, you know, what we had on Tuesday was that introduction to the public, this experience that people can have. So what is the arrangements for people getting into Lure Estate and experiencing the water wheel, the river itself, the waterfall, the cocoa, you know, how do people, is there a price attached to this? You know, what's the concept?
Okay, so the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, they will advertise packages, and of course it is a pre-booked event. So it's not that it will run every day like, you know, the Shore Park Food Hub would be eventually, but they would pinpoint days in which you can book and have the experience. So of course the information is forthcoming, don't worry, because I know you had an excellent time, a lovely time.
Yes,
so you're excited about it. Yes.
So I mean, I don't know, I mean, like you were seeing the shots a little bit. Yes, we had a wonderful time up there at the estate. And it's not the first time I've been there. I've been there already hiking there, and it really is a wonderful experience. The only thing I did not know about was that water wheel. The only thing, I mean, and I know you and I have had this conversation before, where there are actually a lot more water wheel relics within our estates and so on.
Correct, and you haven't seen everything in Lure, you just got a bit of it, right?
So what else is there?
Well, you have to book and take another tour.
Right, I'm too busy cooking that day to take the rest of the tour. All right, now, I mean, as we're touching on, you know, Lure Estate and all those things, environmental concerns come up.
Yes, of course.
What is there in place to make sure that the impact on the environment is as low as possible so that we can continue having that as that one of our just natural, untouched, unspoiled places here in Tobago?
Well, we don't intend to do any major work there, for one. Right? And of course, the tours would be pre-booked. So we'll be able to monitor how many people go in and out and what they do there. And of course, it would have security at that site. It always would have security at that site, right? But we, of course, monitor carrying capacity like we do at the Main Ridge Forest Reserve and any other reserve that, you know, falls under my remit. Because I've been in the division for 18 years, so I can tell you that, you know, we are accustomed to doing monitoring and reducing impact in terms of the natural environment. Right, so have no fear. We have it covered, and we have excellent technical officers, as you would have interacted with some of them at the Lure Great River Cocoa Experience.
And as we're touching on environment, I also have to deal with this issue coming up from the EME, where they are raising concerns about infrastructural projects in Tobago. Particularly, one concern that everybody is focused on right now is that stage being constructed out in Scarborough. I know that environment is part of your portfolio. Correct. What is the relationship with the Department of Environment and the EME to ensure that there is synergy where engaging of projects is concerned?
Actually, we have an upcoming a clearinghouse committee meeting. So we will continue discussing the stage out in the sea, but of course I know that Secretary James, right, so he's a Tobagonian, he has children there, and I know he's a professional, and he would do his due diligence before anything, and he will continue doing his due diligence. So we as the division, they have not flagged the project, or they have not indicated anything wrong to my division or to me, but we have an upcoming meeting and we will be discussing the project at that stage.
I know the Chief Secretary said that there was an environmental impact assessment done on that site.
Yes.
What can you tell us about that environmental impact assessment?
No, I don't have any information on that. Yes, because it didn't come to my attention at the division in any formal way, right? But of course, we're going to discuss it once we get to the clearinghouse committee. I'm sure of that.
Okay, so moving on to yesterday. Yesterday was World Food Day, of course, the return of World Food Day.
Yes.
And, you know, we saw quite a number of people showing up in Bacalet. There were, like as Julian said this morning, there was cars all the way up the highway lined up.
You would swear Carnival started at the parade grounds in Bacalet.
Why do you think, what do you think attracted people in that great of number to World Food Day?
Food is important. I mean, World Food Day, it's an opportunity for all families to come together. All of us will have families across Tobago that either into food, into processing, cooking, cuisines. So I think it's an opportunity after the COVID-19 pandemic for everyone to come out and once more experience that community love. I just believe that people want to socialize and want to come out, get out there and start having experiences. So, and of course, it was a well-organized event. The technical officers, they went out on a limb to ensure that everyone got the notice of the date and the times and what you could experience there. So I think it was just excellent planning. And of course, the people of Tobago, they realized that, after the COVID-19 pandemic, time is not always under our control. Actually, it's never under our control. So we needed that, that space to come together and just have that community love and participation.
And of course, it's a good way for farmers and agro-processors to market themselves as well.
Correct.
In addition to things like the food hub.
Yes. Yes, so it was just, coming out of everything just led to the World Food Day exhibit.
Yes.
It was beautifully done, and I want to commend all the staff at the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development. This could not have happened without their, hard work and excellent planning. I'm really impressed with the chairpersons of all the committees, and as we go forward, we're going to continue having fun doing what we love to do for all the years that we have been doing it.
All right, now, I mean, we just have a couple more minutes left.
Yes.
But I want to touch on something, and that is the fact that as a division, this is perhaps one of the divisions that is showing some bit of profit and some bit of revenue coming in.
Yes.
When you talk about TATCO and that sort of thing, we have every month we're seeing US dollars coming in for the fish.
Yes.
Finally, we're seeing results of the capital of paradise.
Yes.
We're actually making some money. Now, what can you tell us about the profits that the division has acquired so far in the 10 months since you have been in charge?
Well, I'll tell you something. Agriculture, it doesn't really attract a lot of money when you're talking about the national budget. As a matter of fact, I think agriculture was one of the,
Yeah, they were down there.
Yeah,
on
they
the
were
list.
really down there on the list. And I said, you know what? We have to start looking at projects and programs that are lucrative. Otherwise, agriculture will become non-existent. So when we spend money, we need to ensure that we invest it wisely and the people of Tobago understand why. Right? Part of my mandate is sustainable development, and that is why you're going to see a lot of those food hubs across Tobago eventually, and a lot of lucrative projects being rolled out from my division, because it's like an SOS. We need money in this division. But of course, the Chief Secretary has promised to continue supporting us the best way he can to ensure that all our stakeholders could benefit.
Isn't that the division of food security? Is that they have produced the most revenue so far out of all the divisions within the THA?
Well, I didn't do a comparative study, but we will continue to look at investments within the division to ensure that we wisely use the limited resources that we get.
And that money that we're seeing coming in from the various projects, especially under the TATCO umbrella, are we seeing that money going back into the division, or does it go into the consolidation fund for the THA?
Okay, so, all right, so let me talk about the capital of paradise, for example. And I must applaud the captain and crew. Now, they are not on the THA's salary sheet. They don't get paid. They go out there, they work, and that is how they get paid. And I guess that is what, they love fishing, and that motivates them to fish. And I think the whole of Tobago should be proud of them, because most times people, they always look for the money first before they put in the effort. But these guys, they have been doing wonderfully, right? And they will be recognized for their hard work. When the money comes in, it goes to the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, but it goes into paying them. It goes into refurbishing the boat, because when we got it, the boat wasn't in the best condition.
Yes.
So sometimes it comes back into Trinidad, and the chairman would take me there for me to actually see all the challenges that the fishermen are experiencing. So some of the money goes into repairs and all of that. So that is why at Mandate Monday, the Chief Secretary would have announced the purchasing of 2 vessels, right? One for ADFA and one for the division, so that we could start, doing meaningful fishing. I'll tell you something. Barbados imports about 3.8 million pounds of fish. That's an opportunity. Most of the Caribbean countries have gone to so far. They have been asking for our fish. So that's an opportunity. So we need to capitalize on it and eventually start, showcasing how much money that we could actually be making. And of course, agriculture in particular. So that, we could continue supporting the industry and the sector.
All right, great. Well, unfortunately, that's how we're going to have to end this conversation because we are out of time.
Yes.
But I want to thank you, Ms. Natisha Charles-Pantic, for being on with us. And we look forward for more conversations because there was a lot of things that were said on Monday for your division that we did not get into. We did not touch at all. Well, I think it's exciting in this space. So you will need to come back and we need to get into some of those details.
Okay, no problem, Candice. And thank you for having me. Right? Have a good day, Tobago. See you again.
All right, viewers, we'll go to a quick break. And when we come back, we have a lot more in store for you.
This is what you call community pride. The village of Lambo is on a drive to foster greater togetherness in the area. So, the new Lambo Village Council executive embarked on its first official activity with the aim to revive this seaside fishing community.
The executive, we decided that we needed to find activities or a activity to generally to start to get the community back together, to show that love and to work together and to have something to fellowship.
Lambo Village is teeming with life and energy. The blowing of the conch shell to alert passers-by that there is fresh fish available, or the melodious voices of the fishermen announcing their catch. Kingfish, redfish, dolphin, snapper. The fisher folk line the pavement with their catch of the day. So, according to President Kurt Moses, the first activity was a no-brainer, hosting a fishing tournament.
Lambo has a lot of fishermen. I think it's one of the villages that sell one of the most of fish on the island. So yeah, that was one of the main things that we came up. And fishing is a sport that helps relax persons. It's a sport that persons love to do. It's a sport that's good for family. And Lambo has the environment that you can stand up from the shore, off the wall and fish it.
PRO Alison Thomas says this event is the first of many to come. She says the community is intent on showing that it has as much to offer as other Tobago villages.
We want this to be a calendar event and Rise Back Lambo. Everybody must hear about Lambo. You must hear about Castara here in Mariah. We want you all to hear about Lambo.
To keep up with all that's going on in Lambo, as well as future activities, visit the council on Facebook at Lambo VC.
That was a production of the Department of Information, Office of the Chief Secretary, Tobago House of Assembly.
The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place, with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Coconut Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Hey. Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago. Now joining me on set is two lovely ladies in the form of Miss Steph Kalu and Miss Sadie Abrahams. Good morning and welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for
having us.
And we are talking this morning about that island gypsy experience that we are going to be having at the Healing for Horses compound on the 24th of October, which is of course the Wali. So I'm not sure who wants to start us off and telling us about that experience. For Steph, you can go ahead.
Well, basically it started off what we like to say is like a magical experience we're trying to put on. We started off doing it on a smaller scale in the form of night markets. So we would have vendors there, we would have food, all different craft to showcase, but we're trying to take it on another level now and introduce more interactive activities for people to do. So like for this on the 24th, we have like yoga, we have belly dancing by myself, we have drumming circles, and yoga as well,
And a
Pilates,
full pop-up market for the whole day. Yes.
Now we know that Healing for Horses is very they love to do a lot of these things in terms of like Diwali and you know what's to fit in a lot of that culture in here. So what's going to be different this year around compared to what they've done in the past?
Well, I think, we're working in collaboration with Healing with Horses. So I think, yes, it will be different because we're bringing our energy to the space. But Healing with Horses, they have that energy that they for the community, they for the kids. So we're just bringing a little vibe, action to the space to collaborate. So yeah, I don't think we are bringing something different, but our energy is what's going to make it a little bit more exciting.
And of course, I mean, we have the interaction with the horses, which is always a delight. And it's the Festival of Lights, it's Diwali. So there's going to be some deer lighting and so on.
Yeah, so we're trying to make this a lot more for the families, for kids especially, to come out and do all these activities. So we have like deers, they can paint their own deers and decorate it, and then we have a lighting display in the evening where they could light their own deers and put it together. We have face painting, we're going to be doing a henna, Mehndi, we have Mehndi artists, and we also have a treasure hunt for the kids as well. So
it sounds really fun.
Yeah, and it, as you said, it is Diwali, and we're setting intentions to bring all the lights in, so it'll be and also we have a bonfire at night as well, so
and
and
if you all are familiar with Healing for Horses, their bonfires are something that they've gotten famous for, and it's a really wonderful experience.
Yeah, our bonfire is set and ready to go. It's huge, so we would love everybody to be there for that at least. And during that time, we will have all the entertainment. We even have a special performance by Sheldon Blackman. So that's one of our main features. The interactive drumming circle, where people could take part in that too. So it's very, I would say, like, it's not where you could just come in and onlook, and yes, you could partake and sell and buy at the food and craft market, but there's a little something for everybody to partake in and actually learn and to do. So we're trying to build awareness of different talent and multicultural talents as well, so where people could learn as well.
Yeah. Okay, great. Now, you guys have an organization. You are Island Gypsies. Tell me about Island Gypsies. What is Island Gypsy?
So Island Gypsy is our version. I have to say that. Island Gypsy is an experience. I think it's a way of life, it's expression, it's for the culture, for the people. It is, you know, about being free to express yourself, a place of non-judgment, a place, you know, just to really enjoy and express life. And that's what we do. We create these spaces for the people, for creators. And that's, and it's us, it's our energy, you know. We don't just do this for us, we do this for the people, you know, a platform for creators and the vendors who we have, you know, you wouldn't believe the beautiful crafts and creations that we have here. And so creating that platform so that we have the opportunity for not just us but everyone else to showcase their stuff is like, this is what we do, you know.
We have so much talented people on the island, so as Shadi said, a platform and also a space where they could just express their craft and their talent, and for people to appreciate that, really.
I know we're just coming off of, you know, mental health week and that sort of thing. How important are things like this for helping your mental health and just you know, that self-care that you need to sort of, you know, step back and, you know, not fall into the darkness?
Right. So well, I love that question.
Yeah, me too.
So my background is in advertising and event coordination. So naturally that's what we do, but we create spaces. But in the last 3 years, yes, I personally, and Steph will explain for herself as well, but personally, you know, my direction has changed into creating spaces for spiritual and mental wellness. So I do retreats, Reiki healing, guided meditation. We have like yoga instructors who we work with. So yes, this event, we do have yoga. The lighting of the diyas itself is an expression of the light. It's important for us, yes, there's so much happening outside of ourselves in the world. There's so much. And I think it's important, yes, acknowledge that, but two, let us also focus within. Let us focus on building the joy and being together with community. So it's bringing the collective together so we have that space to be free, just even if it's in that moment in time, we're together and we're enjoying life. So that is something that we really focus on as well.
And you know, part of this whole thing is that it's not just one aspect of culture that we're focusing on. It's just so much of all of us, all of what makes us Trinidad and Tobago.
Exactly.
And we just love seeing, like at the end, like I teach the belly dance, and then the end of that I could see the release from people. It could be man or woman, like everybody partakes in it, and it's just like a release for them. They feel happy. It's rewarding for me, and then for us on a whole, like when we see at the end of these festivals and these markets how people feel, and it's like a light feeling. So that's kind of what we want to keep pushing.
And you see it from and Steph always at the beginning of every belly dance class, it's like, well, I can't, no, I'm not gonna partake. And then by the end, you have people like literally just dancing, going in the middle. And so it's also encouraging to build that confidence and just let go and enjoy yourself and be, you know, with Steph and the crew, and just every market, every event that we throw. At the end, you just see the energy rise, you know, you see people's energy and their lights and the laughter and the joy, and that's what we're encouraging for the day.
Okay, well, we're getting ready to wrap up now, but before we go, I just want you to give our viewers the details of how they can be a part of this, how they can experience all these wonderful energies and so that you guys are talking about.
Yes.
Okay, so well, you could come straight at the door to Healing with Horses. It's on Buko Point. in Tobago, of course. And it's $100 if you're partaking in all the activities, and it's just $50 at the door if you're just coming to visit the market, and kids are free. Yes, and we have lollies for them, courtesy of Creamery Novelties, and we also like to say thank you to all our sponsors as well too. We have a list on board, but I'm not sure I can call all out right now. But yes, you can just come straight at the door. We're there from 10 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. So it's a full day of activities.
Yeah, and at the end we have a nice jam session. As I said, our special guest Sheldon Blackman, and just to note, the $100 covered the cost of the yoga, the drumming circle, the belly dancing. So bring your yoga mats, bring your cushions and your mats, and just come and enjoy the day. Face painting for the kids, henna, just loads of stuff happening.
Yeah, you could even come and have a picnic. You could bring your blankets, your pillows, and there's a huge space where you could just lay out anywhere.
And of course the horses.
And the horses, yes. So thank you to Healing with Horses as well.
Yeah, Healing with Horses. Oh my gosh, we are so thankful for them collaborating with us, especially for shout out to Veronica because she's amazing. So yeah, we're really grateful.
All right, great. Well, that's how we're going to have to wrap this interview. But viewers, don't go anywhere because we have a lot more coming up for you after the break. See you then.
Remember life before 2020? Remember 2019 and behind, go back. Okay, remember them times? You forgot it, me too. So much of new norms. We walking around like bandits. We have curfews. Shops closing early. You must have sneezed. One long time. In 2019, when they sneeze, what people they say? Yes, you try to pass a sneeze in this room right now.
Saturday, November 5th, Shore Park, Tobago. It's Million Laughs Caribbean Comedy Commerce, the mega laugh festival to end the Tobago Carnival season, featuring Tobago's finest in folklore and musical entertainment, together with some of the Caribbean's top comedians: Larry Joseph, Daryl the Saint Mendoza, Dolores, Alan the Entertainer, Handsome Sun, Mako Media, and more. Get your ticket specials available on Island E-Tickets and various outlets nationwide, or visit the Million Laughs handles for more info. It's Comedy Commerce in Tobago, a wee kind of commerce.
Assured helped me to cope with the unexpected, provides financial help for final expenses. Rest Assured, the affordable financial comfort plan. Tattoo Life, guaranteed protection.
Soccer Chop! Are you ready? On Sunday, 23rd October at the Dwight York Stadium, featuring a man who understands the assignment. Attention, Jesus, I get sick of it. The Ladies' Choice.
Girl, you got the body of a goddess. Some girl I talk, tell them, say them happy.
Jamaica's hitmaker.
I tell us, say me, now worry about no. As long as me got life.
DJ!
Me get out the road, so she want love the woman of me yard.
Sunday, October 23rd, 3 a.m. to 10 a.m.
At the Dwight York Stadium is water,
paint, foam, powder, coolers, and bikinis.
And breakfast in the biggest Juve Fred and Tobago Carnival.
Soca Jam.
Soca Jam.
Surrender your body to ecstasy. Join the army of dancing feet. A force of nature meets ritualistic splendor on the sexiest Saturday in Tobago East. We celebrate 12 years of memories and our love for Roxborough's Juve. On Saturday, 22nd October, revel in powder, revel in paint, and soca. Jam on the road and jam by the water. From 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. at Argyle Waterfall on October 22nd. No Behavior Crew summons you. Come to the Hideout. It's a Juve Jam.
Yeah.
updates.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago, and joining me on set, well, we are going to be continuing a bit of our conversation on agriculture. I mean, this week is just agriculture focus. I think we should just brand this week Agriculture Week, but that's okay. Moving on, now we're speaking with the president of the Agro-Entrepreneurial Society of Trinidad and Tobago, and that is none other than Mr. Maxlon Roberts. Good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning. It's indeed a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Tobago. It's a pleasure being here as we discuss agriculture and how we move forward as an island as it relates to agriculture and entrepreneurship.
Now, first, tell me a little bit about what is the Agro-Entrepreneurial Society of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right. It's a non-profit organization that was established in 2018. The objective was to focus persons or get persons involved in agriculture from an entrepreneurial standpoint, to get an appreciation, because if we have to sell agriculture to the population and get persons involved and encourage, especially young persons, they must be able to see the monetary values associated with agriculture. And the organization was established to, provide that guidance, that hands-on in terms of production, livestock production. So a number of farmers, a number of students, because when I came back to Tobago from studying in Trinidad, a lot of my colleagues and I, as well as the persons in the villages and in Tobago space, came together and decided to form this organization because we would have the expertise and the ground merging together, and we can share information and knowledge and that sort of stuff, and bring that economic viewpoint regarding agriculture.
And now, as you mentioned, some of our academics in agriculture, you are one of them. You have, gone from a diploma to bachelor's to your master's, and now you're pursuing your doctorate, and all focused on agriculture.
Yes, well, food and agriculture, the entire field, because what you want is persons who has that knowledge and the understanding. But I must say, this initiative is way beyond just that knowledge and understanding, because I always tell persons, when I came back and I started farming, my first crop I failed miserably despite having all that knowledge, because the practical aspect of farming is completely different from the theory, right? And that is why I think this initiative is important, because once you can offer persons the hands-on experience, that in-depth experience, because what you read in a book, what you understand from slides, from lectures, is completely different to when you're actually in the field and you establish a crop. And that is what drives this initiative, really. Yeah. So I've decided to, engross myself in all aspects of the field, because it's just my passion. It's what I think I was called to do, as I tend to say.
Right, and then also you're launching right now just a sort of a course for farmers in terms of using some of those knowledge, academic and practical, into how farmers can use it to properly grow things here on the island, because it's not just putting a plant in the ground, it's not just putting a seed in the ground. There is specific things that you need to do to ensure that you get the best yield from our produce. Precisely.
You must understand some level of agronomy. Because, as you say, when you place that seed, everything you do after that must be well understood in order to get the maximum out of that seed or that plant. And that is the nature of this this program. And it's specific to hillside farming, because there are some, well, if you understand our topography.
Yes, pretty much all on hills.
All of it is hill. But there are some practices that must be involved in order to maximize and preserve your soil and stuff like that. So, to encourage persons to do the right thing, engage in the right agronomic practices is critical if we want success, if we want to really become self-sustainable and realize food security, because we must bring into production these lands that we have. And unfortunately or fortunately, because there are advantages to it, most of our lands are on the hillsides. So you must be able to, understand those practices, and the nature of this course is to give you that guidance, to give you that hands-on, to allow you to be able to do the right agronomic practices associated with any crop once it can be grown here, right? And that's basically anything.
Now, we're seeing here on the list of, I'm not too sure if our director has that listen to us right now. But I mean, you see, you have courses on sweet potato, cassava, dasheen, yam, plantains, and all of these things that I've seen you doing them separately.
Yes.
Because each plant is a different one.
Each one is different, and the agronomic practices associated with each one is different. Right? What you can do for sweet potato, you can't do for dasheen. What you can do for dasheen, you can't do for cassava. So it's on this. We're taking each one individually and expanding them, so you get an appreciation for each one, because we're realizing that persons may want to do a number of different things. Right? So some persons might just be interested in sweet potato only. Some people may be interested in the ground provisions in general only. Right? So it's structured in such a way to have 3 main focus areas, right? And you have the root and fruit crop, you have the fruits and vegetables, and then you have fruits and tree crops, right? So each module is different and focused. So any persons can choose any one of these focus area if they so desire, or they can choose all 3, right? And get involved.
And you know, and how long are these courses?
No, these each one of these focus area takes a month, all right? So what we're having is 4 sessions. 4 of our sessions. We're going to do it on Sundays to accommodate anybody who is willing to be a part of the program. And it's going to be on Sundays evening from 2 till 6, right? Because you have to understand that certain things, when it comes to farming, you must do in the evening periods. So once you engage in them, each focus area will take a month, all right, to complete. You get the relevant literature, you get the relevant hands-on. I must say, you can see it's heavily loaded on practical. You get 1 hour of theory, where you discuss the theory behind each one of these crops, but you have 3 hours of practical, because the reality is, and that is where the focus is, the reality is, I've seen a lot of persons tried planting and not getting what they should get from it, or not getting anything at all, and the practical aspect is what's going to give you that competitive edge when you're going out there.
Yes, and I mean, that's certainly a lesson you learned the hard way.
Exactly, and because I have this philosophy, we can speak about a number of things, right? But I believe in, we teach to the clarity of example. Words don't teach, it's life experiences that teaches. So when you gather those life experiences, when you got that experience over time, it behooves you as an individual, somebody who's interested in the Tobago space, to share that knowledge. And this is the opportunity for me to share what I have gathered over the years. This is my passion and this is my field, and I'm willing to share that information with anybody who is willing to absorb, to learn, willing to do the work, because it requires some work. We are here for that purposes.
And then what is the future goal for the AESCT? You know, is this going to be turn into a formalized education institution for agriculture?
I am hoping so, because as time progresses, we hope to see that the Tobago space develops. We've heard a number of talks of the University of Tobago becoming on board and stuff like that. And in that faculty, it must have an agricultural faculty. And we may be able to play a role as it relates to that. But in the immediate term, it's to just encourage persons to get involved in agriculture and get an understanding and appreciation for the monetary values of it. Because it's hard work. And if you're putting out that effort, if you're putting out that energy, you expect to get some returns. So what we are doing is providing you with the knowledge and the training that would allow you to get the returns you expect. All right? So the future is wide, it's bright, it's bright. There are a number of areas that we can look forward to. There are a number of other areas that we need to examine in terms of livestock, in terms of agroponics, in terms of aquaponics. So those are all areas that we can expose, that we can now get involved in and train persons in, because the knowledge is there. And once we have, and as I said, the team comprises of a lot of my colleagues who would have studied together. So we have that relationship with a number of persons from the different agricultural institutes. Like in the World Food Day, when I go to all the booths that are selling the products and stuff, it's my colleagues who were in school with me at some point, right? So we have those at our disposal. We have the expertise at our disposal, and the objective is just to get to that point where we share the information as best as we could.
So when will these courses start, and what is the cost for people to be involved?
So it's going to start the first Sunday in November, that is November 6th, I believe. As I said, from 2 in the evening, it's going to actually be at Lowido, because that is where the farm is that you're going to do the hands-on practicals. And you know, Lowido is a kind of agricultural hub, and it's in the east. To get involved, there are 2 numbers that was on the screen. You can contact me, you could email me. The information is there. If you wish, I could call out the numbers. It's 723-2304. You can WhatsApp that. You can contact me. Or 380-7134. Or you can email me at maxonroberts@yahoo.com. A number of persons has expressed interest already. I think we're up to 20 persons who have expressed interest thus far. We're not limiting it. Each one of these focus areas is just $200, because we have to get materials, we have to get a number of stuff organized to ensure that the persons get the literature and stuff like that. As I said, it's 3 focus areas. You have food and root crop production. There are 5 models under each section. But the focus area is the $200, not a module per se. So you have the 3 different focus areas. Person can choose one, or they can choose to come to all 3. You register on the day, and we take it from there. All right. Just contact any one of the numbers, email, WhatsApp, and we take it from there. And we start on November 6th, Sunday evening, taking it straight into the evening hours, because, as I said, there are some things you just can't do when it comes to farming, and that itself is a learning lesson that you can't do in certain hours of the day. There are some things that must be done in the evenings or early in the morning. So I'm choosing to take your Sunday evenings.
And that's fine, because of course we're all focused, or we need to be all focused on developing that food security here for us here in Tobago.
And it must be an individual's objective. It can't be done by one. We can't depend on one entity, one program. It's a number of, all hands must be on deck when it comes to food security on the island, because the wars are showing us how critical it is. We're seeing the impacts of where the economy is going, and we need to take meaningful steps right now before it's really too late. And so now is the opportunity to do so.
All right, viewers. So if you are a farmer out there and you want to learn about getting that better yield from your produce, you know, whether it be roots, fruits, and vegetables, you know, contact Maxon Roberts, get on board. Really learn about how do you produce better crops here in Tobago.
Definitely.
All right, and that's how we're going to have to wrap up this morning's program. It was very, very, very exciting. We had a lot in store for you today, and we just want to thank you, viewers, for joining us and for your love and support. You know, we continue to be very appreciative of that love and support, because without you, we would not be here. And we are going to continue to be bringing you the best coverage of everything that's happening here in Tobago. Well, viewers, have a wonderful, safe, and productive day, and we'll see you again tomorrow at 7 a.m. Bye for now.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Wake up with Candace and Denise.
Let's go. It's a brand new morning. Rise up to a brand new dawning. As the passion start to rise, the energy fill the skies. I say thanks for favor to wake up and hear me